Hello and welcome back. I want to bring everyone a bit of an update on the state of my Raiz account after a very long hiatus from YouTube and social media in general, just where the account's at now, sort of what the last couple of years have sort of been, what I want to do with things, and just life and investing in general. So we'll start with where we're at right now. And as you can see from the screen, the account sits at $186,861 exactly, and it has an overall gain of $36,711. So as you can see, the IRR percentage is just a bit over 35%. My portfolio breakdown at the moment is pretty basic. It's Bitcoin, IVV, the S&P 500 index, STW, which is the ASX 200, and the Vanguard Emerging Market Shares ETF, which is VGE. So as you can see, the percentages are a little bit disjointed right now just because Bitcoin has gone up so much, and if Bitcoin reaches 10%, it will probably force a rebalance of the portfolio just to bring it back down to the 5%. This is my portfolio. This is sort of attuned to my risk tolerance at the moment. It is by no means like a perfect portfolio or anything like that, so I don't want anyone sort of emulating it thinking that I'm some sort of authority on investing. It's just something that's pretty basic. It does the job for me, gives me broad exposure to everything that I need. If Bitcoin does force a rebalance, I may put a few sort of the newer thematic ETFs back into the portfolio, but right now I don't really need that. And as for contributions, for the most part, the last couple of years, I think it was about almost over a year and a half now since I've done my last update on this. It's mostly been DCAing in $50 or $100 a day with a couple of lump sums thrown in there. There was, I think, a 2 and a 3K right around mid 2022 when the market crash was sort of at its zenith, and I did another 8K contribution in the past November just because I had a bit more money. And also I do want to apologize if the sound quality is a little bit off. This is a different PC from what I used to record on, and I haven't set up everything yet. This is just kind of a ad hoc thrown together sort of video just to throw an update out there. And I do want to apologize too if you do hear a cat purring on my lap or waking up or something like that. He was adamant on sitting on my lap and I didn't want to say no. So the last update I did, I think, was right around June 2022, and it was a bit of a glorious cliffhanger because I'd just been made redundant from my job. I was entertaining the notion of actually sort of buying my own truck and becoming an owner-operator doing that. I didn't end up doing that, thankfully, because that would have been a colossal sink of money, but at the time there was a lot going on. There was and still is a major land war between two European countries, which you can probably figure out. Fuel increases in prices were pretty obscene. Inflation was the name of the game, and there was a lot of fear. Markets were crashing. The traditional indexes were crashing. Crypto was crashing. Everything was falling down, and the world seemed to be on fire. But I kept investing throughout it. I re-established myself with my new job, sort of picked up where I left off, and through as you can see, I think, yeah, here it is. No, it was somewhere in June where my account almost bottomed down below 100k. Yeah, here it is, June 14th. $101,000 down from a low, from a high of like 119. So it was a bit of a drop at the time, and the account was like negative 12.5k. So as you can see, it was a bit of a drastic drop. And on the note of drops, just looking over here, this is the COVID drop. I remember a few years ago how big of a deal that seemed. Now it's barely a blip on the account, so it can seem massive at the time, but it's just funny how much the account has grown since then, just how insignificant it seems. And I'm sure the 2022 market crash is going to seem like a blip in the radar in a few years as well. And so yeah, I've kept investing. I have stopped at times just due to putting money into other investments or allocating money for other things, because during 2022 especially, I was putting money into crypto just because I'd had some holdings at the time, and I wanted to I wanted to reduce my average and sort of make sure when things did rebound, I'd be at a better average buy-in price, and they did. Crypto has done quite well. Bitcoin over 50,000 USD right now, and a lot of the other cryptos are following suit. I did sell the majority of my crypto holdings just recently for a pretty respectable profit. I don't know. Crypto can very well keep going, with especially now that the Bitcoin ETF is a thing that's going to bring more capital inflows. But I'm happy with the money that I made, and a lot of that money will probably see its way into this account or other investments. So yeah, that's kind of where I've been at, and you can see the last last year has been basically the grand majority of the gains, because last February the market kind of bottomed out and the account was near break even, and over the past year it's just gone from strength to strength. And especially even if you condense it down further, the last 3 months you've seen a $20,000 gain, and it is very, very rare to see such an increase in such a short time. And I have to say that right now, like even compared to a few years ago, like market movements have such a massive bearing on the account size now, just because in a given day, like on the Friday just now, up $937. That's like over a week's worth of contributions or 2 weeks worth of contributions in one go. And same on the downswings, like the fluctuations are just so much more, a larger proportion of contributions compared to like 2020 when the pandemic crash was happening and the account was much smaller. Now it's a lot more meaningful when the market goes up 1 or 2% or goes down 1 or 2%. In percentage terms it's the same, but in absolute size it's certainly a different beast. But I'm hoping to get this account to 200k sometime this year, probably around the middle of the year. Obviously that's going to depend on market circumstances. If the market drops to like 10% in a few weeks or something like that, that's obviously going to push that timeline way back. But assuming the market stays about steady, which is certainly a bit of an assumption, but I can definitely see 200k sometime this year, and maybe 250 by the end of next year. But again, that's going to just depend on the market and all that sort of thing. And I have to say too that in the past year and a half or so that I I won't say inactive, because I mean obviously I'm still contributing and everything like that. I do like that Raiz has added a greater range of ETFs, and I even allowed single stock options. I think that's a nice sort of step in the right direction there. I think, you know, the top 50 ASX shares, it's kind of a little bit of overlap with you know, ASX 200 ETF anyway, so it's kind of redundant. But if they can add, you know, a greater amount of variety of shares in the near future, I think that would be a good step. And on that note too, I am actually invested in Raiz itself, RZI, on the ASX. The share price has been beaten down for a long time, just because the expansion into Asia didn't quite pan out. But I do have faith in the company, just because they are cash flow positive in Australia, and you know, they're improving their financial position with a refocus to Australia. But if anyone would like me to sort of talk more about that, I can do that in a different video, but I'll sort of keep it limited for now. But I do want to say that I do appreciate the support. Like, even sort of during my hiatus, I still have had people message me regularly wanting to see these videos again and all that sort of thing. And if there's enough interest, I'll start doing the weekly market update sort of videos, because people seem to like that. But I think I'm just going to sort of keep it there for now, and I'm just going to say my name's Rich, and I will catch you guys in the next one.